Hello everyone, how's it going? My name is Brandon and today I'm going to be recommending you guys some books. This video is going to be about sci-fi books. Normally, this genre in of itself isn't really a genre I really go out for. There are some really great sci-fi books I have read and really enjoyed, but you know, it isn't a genre I really invest in. I started YA reading a lot of like dystopian books. Some honorable mentions would be like The Darkest Minds, Shatter Me, the Lux series, Twilight, but I don't think Twilight counts as sci-fi or dystopian. Hopefully we won't have vampires in the near future, but who can say? We never know. But just wanted to show you guys and recommend some of my favorite sci-fi books that I have read along the years. Before we get started though, I also want to mention that this video is being sponsored by HMH Teen in honor of the release of Your One and Only by Adrian Finlay. This is a sci-fi dystopian book. It's about a boy and a girl, but mainly the boy. I think he's the central character, and he is like the only human in existence so far. When I say only human, I mean genuine human, because I think in the years past that people have perfected their genes. Humans have perfected themselves to the extreme that they almost lose their human touch and the morals or qualities that make them human. So in this new world, Jack feels the need to feel accepted while he meets this girl who feels different from her sisters. This idea is really interesting because, you know, what would we do to just hide our imperfections or perfect, you know, our qualities that we don't like about ourselves? Really excited to start this, and thank you to HMH Teen for sending me this copy. Keeping in line with like that dystopian and sci-fi genre, I wanted to show you guys one of my favorites of all time. So the first one, Scythe by Neil Shusterman. Don't worry, I am not the only person in the whole wide world that has messed up reading the book title. I legit thought it was Scythe, but one of those words I've never heard aloud. I don't know, I've never actually heard anyone say this word aloud before, which is weird and strange, right? So I kind of just made up my own interpretation and just read it as it is. Scythe, but apparently it's not Scythe, it's Scythe. I don't even know why they added the C in. Let's not get into that, okay? Just, this book was fantastic. I picked this up at Target knowing pretty much nothing about it, and I'm so glad that it did, because now other booktubers are picking it up, and I think this book is getting the hype it deserves. This book is set in the future where people like literally don't die anymore. Like death doesn't really exist. It only exists in these forms of Grim Reapers who are human. They have the ability to, you know, take off people or kill people off because, you know, they don't want the world to be overpopulated. There's no more sickness or anything, so they have to like regulate and control the population of the world. And, you know, they choose how people die and everything. This book is about two apprentices who are taken on by these Grim Reapers, or Scythes, as you call them, basically going on their journey and apprenticeship of learning these human morals and, you know, leaving it behind and just incorporating it into this also broken system that these Scythes also often abuse. I love Neil Shusterman's writing style in this. It's fantastic, so engaging, and I really recommend it because it really questions, you know, the human morale of what makes us human. I haven't read the sequel yet, but it's out. So if you guys haven't picked this up yet, or if you guys have heard the hype and you're wondering if it's worth it, it's definitely worth it. So the next book, it's more sci-fi than dystopian than anything else, but it's Red Rising by Pierce Brown. Pretty sure if you're on BookTube, you've heard about this book for a while now. Like, it all takes place on other different planets. It doesn't even take place on Earth, and I've heard so many comparisons with The Hunger Games with this book, and I can see the similarities. This book had like more emotional impact on me, and it was just so brutal and gritty and just dark. This is probably one of the best written sci-fi books I've ever read. Not saying a lot just because I haven't read a lot of sci-fi books, but from what I've read, by far my favorite writing style. This book takes place in Mars, and it's about a group of people, the Reds, in this world, or this planet galaxy. People have been categorized in like different classes of like color. The Reds are the lowest, whereas the Gold, who are on top, very fitting to their name, right? They're like super big and tall and proud and rich and powerful, all that jazz. The Reds are working to colonize Mars. They're working underground, you know, digging mines and everything, a very dangerous job. And this book centers on one dude. His name is Darrow. He's red, and he wants revenge. Something happens. He wants to go against the Gold, people who have been treating these Reds very cruelly and unjustly, and he finds out that the world above them, the ones that, you know, they've been digging into the ground, you know, making lives better for, you know, future generations, have already been perfected. Everyone's living above ground already. It's really good. Like, political wise, it's perhaps one of the best constructed like books I've ever read. I would really recommend it if you're looking for something, you know, something new in the sci-fi genre because I was relatively new and I picked this one up. You kind of have to stick with it. It's a little hard and heavy on like the sci-fi words and mannerisms of the world. The next book that I'm going to show you guys also has a movie coming out next month, and it's Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. This was a really fun read for me. I really enjoyed it. So this book is a dystopian, where in this world, this game is created by this creator, and it's called the Oasis. And in this Oasis is like a virtual reality where almost literally anything can happen. You can be anyone you want, you can do anything, you can do whatever you want. In this world, the creator leaves a message and a clue in the game system to all the players where, you know, if you can find these Easter eggs and solve this mystery and all that, you will find the ultimate prize. As you can probably guess, a lot of people really want that. This book was really action-packed. I really loved it. There's so many trivial things in there as well that I really connected to, because so many of the things that I connected to were things that I either like listened or watched growing up as a kid. So really nostalgic. A movie's coming out and the trailer looks fantastic. Steven Spielberg is directing this, and he was even mentioned in this book, which is awesome. I would really recommend this one if you guys really like gaming, virtual reality, and stuff like that. It's really immersive, I think. The next set of books I'm gonna recommend to you guys are graphic novels, and it's perhaps one of my favorite graphic novels of all time. It's the Saga series. I used to pronounce this series as Saga, not Saga. Or wait, am I confusing myself? Is it Saga or Sega? Sega. The Saga series, not Saga. Or is it the Saga series? This series is sci-fi, completely sci-fi. I haven't heard anybody say anything negative about it. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have already read the series, but if you haven't, definitely pick it up. It's more graphic and more mature on some elements and levels. FYI, if you didn't know that. It's really cool. There's like chimeras and space and spaceships, all that, you know, sci-fi jazz and everything like that. I've only read, I think 1 through 5, I believe. I think there's like seven volumes out right now. The whole series centers around these two married couple, and they're from different sides of the war. They're at war with each other, almost like Romeo and Juliet, and they have a baby. They're just trying to escape throughout the whole galaxy with a bounty on their heads, and just people hunting them, other things, creatures hunting them from all over. This was super action-packed, highly recommend. Definitely pick it up if you guys are interested. Last but not least, Warcross by Marie Lu. This one is sort of like Ready Player One, very similar in aspect of virtual reality gaming, but whereas Ready Player One was just more chaotic and heavy, and just info dumpy, I think, on certain aspects, this one was just a very breezy, light, fly-through comparison to that novel. Marie Lu was sort of a hit and miss for me with her other books like The Young Elites, which I thought was way too overhyped and not warranted at all. And I never finished her Legend series, but I picked this one up and I really enjoyed it. A lot of people have been really hyping this up, but in my opinion, it's worth it. This one is set in the future where this company has created this virtual reality game called Warcross. Well, it's an event that takes place, a tournament basically. And this girl, a hacker, she accidentally glitches herself into the game and she gets contacted by the head and owner of the game. And he asks her to help fix this security problem. And then she gets caught up in like all this political warfare and, you know, must compete in the games and maintain this normalcy of not being a secret super spy hacker for this dude that she's also falling for. I had this one element in here that Ready Player One didn't have, and it was like one of those boxes, like, you know, when you're in Mario Kart, you're racing and you're trying to find, I forgot what those boxes are called. But if you like crash into one of them, you get like this item that gives you an advantage over the other players, and it was really cool just to read that like in a book. So I really like that aspect of it as well. And it's not a standalone as I initially thought. I think it's like a duology or a trilogy. So that is pretty much it for all the books in this video that I showed you guys. Please let me know down in the comments below, like, what are some of your favorite sci-fi dystopian reads that you guys really enjoyed reading. All my social media links down in the description below. Please give this video a big thumbs up if you guys liked it. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you guys all soon with the new video. Oh, that was really violent. I'm sorry, camera. I'm sorry.